Welcome, sports fans. Here we are, state championship softball action here in Spanish Fork, Utah. Beautiful day for softball, and the game's just getting ready to get started. We appreciate Centricom or TeamHeim.live, also powered by Centricom and in partnership with KSL for bringing you the games today. We'll try to bring them to you as accurately as possible. I will make my disclaimer early. If I mispronounce the name, I apologize for that. We will do the best that we can and always take information from those of you listening that might want to get us if we're saying it wrong. This first matchup is between Carbon and Manti. Carbon, the number 4 seed, having defeated American Leadership Academy earlier. They come in as the number 4 seed, and they'll be playing the number 12 seed, Manti, who upset Providence Hall in the 5-12 matchup earlier last week. And so it will be Carbon-Manti, a classic matchup there. They've already played at least once that I have record of, and in that game, Carbon was victorious 13-0 over Manti. Manti, of course, with a tremendous heritage in softball since about the mid-90s. They have 11 state championships to their credit since the mid-90s. And so they've done very well in softball, always a force, whether 2A or 3A. They have been a force in softball. Carbon, as the information I have, Carbon has yet to win in softball, but they are a highly ranked team this year, coming in at number 4. Starting lineups for Carbon Dinos, they will be the home team. Michaela Scoville will be playing second base. Jenna Richards will be playing left field. Gabby Vasquez will be catching. Haven Byerly will be pitching. Brielle Sandoval will be playing shortstop. Reese Underhane, I apologize on that one. That's the one that's got me messed up. If you can give me information, that'd be fine. But we have it Underhane. Ardoane will be playing first base. Kylan Sorensen, third base. Adri Abete will be playing center field, and Taylor Secor will playing right field. For the Manti Templars, they will start with Madison Scottern at shortstop, Elsie Olson at second base, Olivia Osborne at third base, Haley Daniels for pitching. Robbie Johnson will be the designated player today. Cecily Alder will be playing left field. Andalyn Anderson at first base. Ashley Johnson in right field. Mara Thompson in center field. And Riley Miller will be the catcher and also be the flex player. So that's your starting lineups as we get ready to go here. And it will be, as we mentioned, Carbon in the field to begin with, as they are the home team. And so the Carbon will take the field. Coming for Manti, they'll be leading off with Scottern. And Scottern has a batting average of .455 on the year. And able starting leadoff batter there. You like to get that leadoff on. That's the key for the teams, to get a leadoff on. It always makes a difference to the pitcher when you have that leadoff runner on. Winner of this game obviously moves on to the next game. Will be playing the winner of Grantsville and South Summit. Might mention that Manti won the championship last year. They broke a string that Grantsville held of about 4 years in a row where they had won state championships, and Manti was able to get it last year. And so, depending on what happens here, could have that classic matchup once again with Grantsville and Manti. But Carbon will have a lot to say about that, as they are the favored team coming in. We appreciate our sponsors: Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers, Utah Community Credit Union, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, Sam Pete Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Barney Trucking, Honey's Marketplace in Kanab, and Jones and the Mill Engineering. We appreciate them. So, coming to bat for Manti, Madison Scottern will be coming up. I've got a number wrong already. Listed as number 21. She's wearing number 27. First pitch is outside and low, ball 1 to the batter, Scottern. As we mentioned, she stands in there with a .455 batting average on the year with 82 plate appearances. Left-handed batter. Pitch is going to be a little bit high, ball 2 to the batter. Haven Beverly in the circle. Third pitch, low and outside. 3 ball, no strikes. Following on deck batter will be Elsie Olsen, and in the hole Olivia Osborne for Manti. So a 3-0 count here. That pitch is going to be outside, so a 4-ball walk right there for the first batter. Puts the first batter on. That's Madison Scottern on. That will bring Elsie Olsen to the plate now. Olsen has a .304 batting average in 79 and 8 RBIs on the year. First pitch fakes the bunt, called strike to the batter. Olsen. On deck is Olivia Osborne. And again in the circle taking the signals is Byerly. Takes a swing at the, makes a motion at it, so it will be called strike 2 on the batter. 0-2 the count. So nothing but balls to the first batter, nothing but strikes here to the second batter, Elsie Olsen. So an 0-2 count, got to cover up here and protect. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so a big strike out there to the second batter for the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Byerly. And it will bring to the plate Olivia Osborne with Haley Daniels on deck. The battery, Gabby Vasquez and Haven Byerly for Carbon. Fouled back, strike 1 to the batter. So Byerly struggled with the first batter, going 4 straight balls, but since then it's been all strikes here to the following 2 batters. And again, Olivia Osborne at the plate. Ball's going to be a little bit outside, ball 1, go 1-1 here to the batter. Osborne batting .467, so some very good numbers here for the first 3 batters. .455, .304, .457 here for the batter, and she does have 2 home runs on the year, so kind of have to watch her with 3 doubles. 1-1 the count, left-handed batter. Ball's going to be called on the outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. So again, at first base, you got Madison Scottern, who reached on a walk, 4 straight balls leading off. And now we have 1 away with Olivia Osborne at the plate. Swing and a miss on a bit of a change up there. Beautiful pitch. It looked like it was down the middle, but she took something off of that, got the second out. 2 strikeouts in the inning. That will bring to plate the cleanup, Haley Daniels. She's also the pitcher. Will come to the plate. And Haley Daniels, another one with a .452 average. Ball's going to be low, ball 1. So 2 down. 2 down, 1 on base. The cleanup hitter at the plate in the person of Haley Daniels. The windup. Ooh, a little outside, took something off, but it looked good, and a swing and a miss there by Haley Daniels. Count will go 1-1 now. 1-1, 2 away. No runs, 1 runner on. Wind up by Byerly. Popped up down the line. It'll go out of play, foul, however. So that's a foul ball. Be strike 2 to the batter. 1-2 the count now. Haley Daniels the cleanup. Again, Haley Daniels with a .454 average, 1 home run, 10 doubles, 26 RBIs on the year. So a very potent hitter here is Daniels, also the pitcher for Manti. Barley throws that one. Nice block behind by Sandoval. Well done by, Gabby Vasquez behind the plate. Stopped that ball before it got past. It was deep in the dirt. She dug it out, saving a base. 2-2 the count. Wind up in the dirt again. The runner goes slow with the throw. The ball was in the dirt, so it's a stolen base there by Scottern. She gets the stolen base there, gets her to scoring position. The ball was in the dirt, brings it to a full count here to Daniels. So Daniels now a full count. Byerly is going to toe the mound. Baskets behind the plate. Pitch is in the dirt again, so it'll be a walk. So she lost her after getting ahead early. She gives up another base on balls. And it will put runners at first and second now with 2 away, and it'll bring to the plate Cecily Alder. Cecily Alder with a going to be something wrong here. It says there's a .083 batting average here. There are two, let me look at this. There are 2 listed on my stuff here, my statistics here. Cecily Alder with a .333 batting average. Excuse me for that error. Couple of home runs, a triple, and 4 doubles, and 17 RBIs. And she does have a runner in scoring position in the person of Madison Scottern. There's a bit of a conference in the mound for Carbon, but Madison Scottern at second, and then Haley Daniels at first, both by way of the walk. So no one has really put the play. In fact, there's only been 1 contact. Swing and a miss there by Robbie Johnson, who is at the plate. The only contact of a pitched ball was by Daniels, fouled one off. Everything else has been a called strike, swinging strike, or a called ball. So doing a good job on the mound. Another swing and a miss. That said that was a foul tip. Strike 2. So Robbie Johnson in the hole now. 0-2. Excuse me, I was calling that Cecily Alder, but this is Robbie Johnson at the plate. Starts to swing, does not go. It's a ball called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And so, excuse me on that error, this is Robbie Johnson, .357 batting average. It's Cecily Alder on deck, and I apologize for that one. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so a nice job. Good action by the pitcher here for Carbon, as she has a lot of changing speed, so they get out of it. 2 runs on, both by way of walk. No runs scored, no hits, no errors. We'll be back with the bottom of the first here in just a second.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support.
In the top of the first, Manti got 2 runners on by way of walks, but were unable to put the ball in play, so they left 2. No hits, 2 walks, no errors, no runs scored. So they will take the field defensively, as we will bring Carbon to the batter's box now. Michaela Scoville will lead off. And also followed by Jenna Richards. And in the hole is Gabby Vasquez. Pitch is going to be outside. Called strike on the outside corner. to Scoville. In the circle is Haley Daniels and Riley Miller behind the plate. Ball's hit sharply past the second baseman into center field, and it'll be a base hit to Michaela Scoville. So first up, and a base hit there, putting a runner at first, bringing Jenna Richards to the plate. Jenna Richards with a .368 batting average. She does have 2 home runs on the year. See what she does here, but Jenna Richards followed by Gabby Vasquez on deck. Richards is the left fielder. Turns to bunt, waves at it, nothing there. The ball gets loose, and the runner will get to second base uncontested. So I don't know whether you're going to score that as a passed ball or a stolen base. That was bobbled by the catcher. About have to call that a passed ball there. So she does get to second, runner in scoring position. This time she does not square. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Nice pitch there by Daniels, and it'll be a strike on her. On deck, Gabby Vasquez. Again, Michaela Scoville at second. Nobody out here in the bottom of 1 for Carbon. Swing and a miss. Nice change up again. Nice change of action there. High and took something off. So strike 2 to the batter. So 1-2 the count here to Richards. Pitch on the way. Low, nice block there. Good job by Riley Miller to block that ball. Elsie Olsen keeping her close at second base, too, checking back and forth. So Daniels takes the sign from the dugout. Whoa, whoa, and it goes fair. She has to tag her. I don't know that she tagged her. They're going to say she did tag her. She didn't mean to swing. It was a check swing. The ball tapped the bat. Looked like it was going to be foul. Just rolls fair. Catcher wisely, Riley Miller, picks it up, tags the runner because she didn't know she was supposed to be running. She thought it was foul. So kind of a crazy deal, but it'll be a 2 unassisted there for the out. But the runner does end up going to third. We could call it a sacrifice, I guess. Ball ripped down the third base line. Going to go foul here by Vasquez. So that'll bring a 1 strike on Vasquez. And Haven Byerly, the pitcher for Carbon, will be on deck with Brielle Sandoval in the hole. 1 down here. Pitch is going to be outside, ball to Vasquez. 1-1 the count. Again, you got 1 away, a runner at third, and Vasquez at the plate. Pitch is going to be high, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Vasquez does have a .493 batting average and 5 home runs, so they have to be very careful of her. Pitch is going to be high and tight. Looks like she's almost trying to take that off his shoulder, but she turns and lets it go. 3-1 the count now. A hitter's pitch here at 3-1, but you don't want to be too good. You do have first open. You got a runner at third. Way over the backstop. Ball bounces way in the air. The runner does not come, but it is a walk. Vasquez will go to first, but the runner does not come home. So Gabby Vasquez takes the base on balls, moves to first, and Michaela Scoville still at third base. Runners at first and third, 1 down. Haven Byerly, the pitcher, comes to the plate. And Byerly has a .321 batting average, 1 home run, 1 double, 6 doubles, 1 triple. So .321 batting average. Swing and a miss. Now we got, it wasn't on their scorecard, but they've got number 20 as batting. Let me pull that up. Haven Byerly. I got the wrong number on her again in my stats, so it's the right player there. Ball high. So Byerly stands in. Rips the ball down the line. It could be, folks, it is a 2-run, 3-run dinger to start the first inning. No doubt on that one as Byerly gets it all over the fence in dead left field. And that'll clear the bases. And that's 3 RBIs there. Wow. When she ripped that, there wasn't really a lot of question. It was just how long it was going to be to get there. Great job by Byerly to help her own cause there. She drives in 3 with that home run. That's not the way you like a game to start if you're the defensive team out there, but that's what happened. That brings Brielle Sandoval to the plate, the shortstop, and she'll be followed by Reese Ardohain. And again, folks, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize, I really do. But Reese Ardohain will be on deck, and Kylan Sorensen will be in the hole. So here we go, bases clean, swing and a miss there by Sandoval, strike 1. And again, we go back to that's a called strike there, so 2 strikes on the batter, Sandoval. And Byerly does have a .321 average on the year, so she has done well. 12 RBI. She just added 3 more with that home run. So that pitch is in the dirt there by Haley Daniels, blocked nicely by Riley Miller. It'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Will be the count here to Sandoval. Ardohain in on deck. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 there to Sandoval. First strike out of the game. Second out of the inning for the pitcher Daniels. Okay, it'd be 2 down now, bases clear, and they'll send the 6th batter in the inning, Reese Ardohain, to the batter's box. First pitch is going to be called strike on the inside corner. And Ardohain with a .310 batting average in 78 plate appearances. She does have 2 doubles and 2 triples, though, so she can put it out there. In the dirt, ball 1. So 1-1 the count to the batter. The 6th batter of the inning, as we mentioned. 3 across, 2 outs, nobody on. They have 2 hits in the inning, does Carbon. Foul ball. The 2nd strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the batter, Ardohain. Daniels brings it. Going to be in the dirt once again. Having a little bit of trouble down there. Doing a good job behind the plate is Miller. But that'll be ball 2, so it's 2-2 now is the count. Ooh, way high that time, so it'll take the count full here. Full count to Ardohain, the first baseman. Again on deck is Kylan Sorensen. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, drops it, but she does make the tag. And so that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, another strikeout. So Daniels kind of got it righted after that home run, struck out the next 2 batters. So it'll be 2-0, 3-0 after 1. We'll be right back.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Welcome back here to Spanish Fork. Again, it's top of the second inning here, the first inning. If you're just joining us, Manti got a runner on, but was unable to get it across and ended up with no runs in the inning. However, Carbon got a couple of runners on, and then the pitcher rips one over the fence in left field to put them up 3-0. So it'll be back to the batting order now, and it'll come up Cecily Alder will be batting. First pitch is called a low strike. Strike one to Alder. Andalyn Anderson on deck and Ashley Johnson in the hole. Alder plays left field for Manti, and she bats 333 on the year. That pitch is going to be a little inside. Ball one. 1-1 the count now to Cecily Alder. Haven Beverly last inning walks the first batter on 4 straight pitches, and then after that kind of got the ship righted pretty much. Struck out the next 2 batters and then struck out the last batter. So 3 strikeouts. That's a swinging foul. But as I mentioned, really there's only been 3 contacts on Beverly. One was all 3 were fouls or foul tips is all they've been able to muster here. Manti against Beverly. She has a great change of pace, moves the ball up and down, and really takes a lot off. That one, however, was way up there into the screen for a ball. So it's 2-2 the count. So stands back in, does Alder. Swing and a miss, strike 2-3, excuse me. So 4 strikeouts in the inning already. Excuse me, not in the inning. You can't get 4 strikeouts in an inning. But 4 strikeouts in the game thus far. So again, unable to make much contact. The difference of speed by Beverly is such that it's really got the batters from Manti back on their heels and out over it. They're just having a tough time catching that speed. There's a nice pitch. Going to say it's a little bit high, however. Ball 1. But just keeping the Manti batters off balance. Andalyn Anderson, the first baseman, steps in, number 26. She'll be followed by Ashley Johnson. Pitch is down, but called strike on that one. 1-1 the count. Takes the signal from the catcher / dugout. Swing and a miss. Again, a great change of speed right there. Throw it up in the zone and took a lot of it off. And just underneath it is Andalyn Anderson. So far, the fielders for Carbon haven't had to do a whole lot. Looked like a pretty good pitch. They're going to say it's down this time. 2-2 the count. Again for Carbon, Reese Ardelhane at first base. Michaela Scoville at second. Kylan Sorensen third. Brielle Sandoval at short. Jenna Richards, Audrey Abeta, and Taylor Secor in the outfield. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 there. Another strikeout by the pitcher Beverly. Brings to the plate Ashley Johnson, the right fielder, number 24. And Johnson has a .306 batting average, 7 doubles and 1 triple on the year. She stands in there. Thus far, as we mentioned, no one has been able to hit a ball in fair territory. Another foul tip on the way. That was more than a foul tip. She got enough of that one to send it back over the screen. So strike 1 to Ashley Johnson. And that might be right there the most contact with the ball that's been made thus far by Manti against Byerly, excuse me. A called strike on the inside corner. And again, I have to apologize. That is not Beverly, that's Byerly. And my sincerest apology for that, because she's throwing a wonderful game. Strike 3. So all of the recorded outs for for Carbon have been strikeouts by the pitcher Byerly. So we'll take a break come back for the bottom of the first here in just a second.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Welcome back here to Spanish Fork Complex. We're getting ready for the bottom of the second inning here. As Carbon will come to bat with a 3-0 lead here to start with. They'll bring Kylan Sorensen to the plate, the third baseman. And the first pitch there from Daniels is a called strike. So Sorensen is the third baseman for. Next pitch is going to be way outside, called ball. Just checking here, Sorensen with a 362 batting average, but does have a little pop. She's got 1 home run and 7 doubles on the year. So 1-1 the count to her. Swing and strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Sorensen. Audrey Abeta will be on deck, and Taylor Secor will be in the hole here in the bottom of the second inning. Take a little off of it, hit down the third baseline across the diamond. That's an easy out there for Olivia Osborne to Andalyn Anderson for the first out of the inning here. So that's a 5-3 put out there, and it'll bring to the plate Audrey Abeta.
Number 13, Audrey Abeta.
And she'll stand in. Abeta with a 297. She hits one to shortstop. Picked up there. Got to make the throw across. And they're going to say she was safe. Beat it out. It was a slow roller to shortstop. The shortstop, Madison Scottern, playing a little bit deep. And that thing was just a slow roller. So the throw across to Andalyn Anderson just not in time. So we'll call that an infield hit. There was no error on that. That was just too much speed going down the baseline and too slow a roller into the field for the ball hit. So a base on hit that brings Secor to the batter's box. First pitch inside is called a strike to Secor. Michaela Scoville, who had a single in the first inning, will be on deck. 1 away in the inning. Turns the bunt, puts it down to third up with it, bobbles the ball, no one covering third, and so no outs. Secor reaches on an error. Third baseman came in nicely, had it played nicely there, and then while I'm dreaming, Secor tries to get to second base and they throw her out. So she tries to catch him napping, and they throw her out. So that'll be the second out. However, Abeta goes all the way to third on the error. So Scoville comes back to trying to straighten all that out of my scorecard here. But it'll bring Scoville back to the plate here. She led off the first inning on the 4th pitch of the game with a single to right center field. This one's popped up to left. It'll go out of play through the trees. And I don't know if they planted these trees for protection or not, but it sure provides a nice break on a ball coming down on people's heads. Plus the shade, which will come in handy later in the day. So Scoville steps in. swing, ball, the dribbler to second base. You pick it up, she'll go across and get the out. And again, I'm going to straighten this out. We'll take a break and come back. I've messed up a couple of times here. We'll get this all straightened out when we come back.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Hey, welcome back here. We kind of got it straightened out. At last inning, the runner tried to break from first to second. They threw her out, but in the interim, the run scored for Carbon. So they're up 4-0 now on Manti. As we start now the top of the third inning, we have at the plate Mara Thompson, the center fielder, and she batting left-handed. She has... Try to get her batting averages in here real quick. And she's batting 311 here. And sorry about that mix-up in the last inning. Second pitch is going to be low, called ball. So Mara Thompson with a 1-1 batting in this at-bat. The number 8 batter in the lineup. Again, no one has reached... one has reached for Manti, but that was on a walk. No one has put the ball in play in fair territory for Manti yet. So the pitcher, Byerly, has a no-hitter going here as we are now into the third inning. A no-hitter going, top of the third. Cotter looking on that one. There was a late attempted swing, check swing, but nonetheless it was a strikeout. That is the 7th strikeout for Byerly. 7th strikeout, 7 outs, 7 strikeouts. Throwing a beautiful game. Other than the first batter, which she walked on 4 straight balls back in the first inning. That was Cotter. Other than that, no ball has been put into play. A few foul tips, but 7 strikeouts for 7 outs. Ball's going to be outside. Ball 1 to Riley Miller of Manti. Miller doing the catching for Manti. Ooh, way inside, steps away from it. Swing and a miss. And we are, Riley Miller is the flex. I apologize again. We are back to the top of the order to Madison Scotland. She's the one that took the walk in the first inning. So we're back to Scotland. She stands in with a 3-1 count. So looks to try and pull another walk here, if she can, with 1 down here in the top of the third. It'll be low ball, so she has been up twice. She has seen 9 pitches, 2 walks, only 1 strike thrown to her, and she gets another base on ball. She is the only base runner thus far for Manti. She's been on twice now in 2 at-bats by way of walk. And it'll be Elsie Olsen. She struck out in the first inning. She'll take a low ball 1. So again, Olsen. Osborne will be on deck. Daniels in the hole. Pitch is high, so right now Byerly, who is throwing so well, suddenly kind of looks to be struggling a little bit. Walking Scottern, and now 2 balls the count. That one's fouled away. It'll go 2-1 now to Olson. Byerly, as we mentioned, thus far throwing a no-hitter here. And no one has even put the ball really even in play in fair territory for Manti. Now that should change. Manti, a good team. Great hitters and great tradition. Ball is going to be inside again. So 3-1 the count now again to Elsie Olson with Scottern at first base. 1 away in the inning. Olson will dig in. Osborne on deck. Pop up. Hits the ground. They're going to let it roll. Foul ball. Wisely done by the pitcher. She thought she could catch the little flare, but was unable to get to it, and it hit the ground, and they let it roll foul. So it'll be a strike. But if she had picked that up, there was no way of making a play there. So wisely by Carbon letting that ball roll foul instead of trying to make that play. So it'll be, I believe, a full count now to the batter, Olson. Swing and a miss. Throw down on the stealer. And Scottern's able to steal the base cleanly, but it is another strikeout for the pitcher Byerly as she strikes out Olson for the 2nd time in the ball game. 2nd out of the inning. And Madison Scottern does get to second base. Another stolen base for her. She's got two walks and 2 stolen bases thus far. Brings Olivia Osborne to the plate. In the first inning, Osborne works it to a full count, but then struck out with Madison Scottern in scoring position. Right up the middle, ripped up the middle. There goes the no-hitter. Here comes the runner around third, and she'll stand in easily. So a hit there by Olivia Osborne. We said it would only a matter of time. Manti was too good to continue that as she rips one up the middle and gets an RBI there. And that'll bring Scottern, again, with 2 walks and 2 stolen bases. This time she gets to come around and score on that single by Olivia Osborne, making the score 4-1 now. And coming to the plate, the cleanup hitter, Haley Daniels. She got on a base on balls in the first inning. Swings at an outside pitch there, strike 1. She did get in on a base on balls, but then was left standing there in the first inning. So they had 2 runners on, both by walks in the first. Swing and a miss. Nice change of pace there by Byerly. It'll be strike 2 on the batter, Haley Daniels. So 2 down in the inning, 1 across, 1 on first. And Daniels, and there obviously no pitcher's clock in this game. Pops it up. Shortstop's calling for it, comes in, takes it, so that's a fly to the shortstop. So F6 for the 3rd out, and that is the only out that they've made thus far in the ball game that wasn't a strikeout. So Manti's bats are starting to come alive, so we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. We'll be right back.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com. Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Welcome back here as we get things set apart. Now, again, the mix-up we had last inning, we missed that. I missed that, in that the runner tried to go, Scoville tried to go to second base. Excuse me, we'll get the pitches outside. The batter is Jenna Richards for Carbon. Jenna Richards sacrificed. She actually got kind of a little tap of the bat, rolled fair, And she was tagged out, but it did allow the runner to move to third base, so we call that a sacrifice. Once again, the ball is hit into fair territory, but it goes off the batter, so it'll be a dead ball. But Carbon did get the run on the fielder's choice. They went to get the runner out, going from first to third, and the runner, Abaitha, scored from third in that action. Changes pace, up high, tipped foul by the batter Richards. Gabby Vasquez is on deck, and Haven Byerly, the pitcher, with the big home run in the first inning, will be in the hole. Bottom of 3 here. 4-1 the score. Ooh, way outside. Aaron, that stuck in the hand a little bit too long there. That'll be a ball. So 2-2 the count, I believe, to Richards with Vasquez on deck. Pitch is inside, ball. Full count now to Jenna Richards. Got in the hole early, but she's battled back here. Ball is high and outside, so was in the hole, but worked back to a base on ball, so that'll get Richards to first base. Nobody out, bringing to the plate Gabby Vasquez. In the first inning, Vasquez got a walk and then eventually scored on the home run by Byerly. First pitch is a strike to Vasquez. Outside corner, strike 2. Not sure she liked that one, but that's the call. Strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Vasquez. Again, she walked in the first inning and scored on the home run. Swing and a miss. Drop ball, tag out. So strikeout, the second out of the inning. That is the third strikeout for the pitcher Daniels. And it brings the opposing pitcher, Haven Byerly, to the plate. She does have the 3 RBIs on the big smash into left field in the first inning. See how careful they are with her. Low and on the outside corner be called a ball. It'll be outside, ball 2. So they're being very careful with her with 1 out here in the inning. Byerly at the plate. Rips into right center field. That'll be down for a hit. Clear to the one hopper to the fence. First base got a little bit of a slow start, but she rounds first. Second comes to third, and that'll be a double this time by Byerly. What a day she's having with the double there. And again, the runner at first may have scored, but she was holding up to make sure that the ball was down. And then she comes all the way around to third, and Byerly gets a double out of it. And because the pitcher, the runner had kind of held up, Byerly nearly caught her. That's Jenna Richards. But once she knew it was on the ground, she gets all the way around to third. So 2 runners on, only 1 away, and Brielle Sandoval comes to the plate. Sandoval in the first inning struck out after the home run by Byerly. Let's see what happens here. Ball's in the dirt and low. Nice block there by the catcher Miller to keep that one from going to the screen. So it's 1 ball to the batter Sandoval, and Ardoin in on deck, and Sorensen in the hole for Carbon. A little bit on the outside corner, offered at it. The umpire is going to ask for some help. I don't know what he's seeing here. He's going to go out and talk to the other umpire. She did offer at the ball. I don't know if he's asking her if she went around or not. There was no request from the catcher. He's given the signal of 1 out. I think that's the deal. As the scoreboard says, 2, it's only 1 out. So he was straightening himself out. They keep looking at the scoreboard. He did signal 1 out. So that was a ball to Sandoval then. Hits the dirt and rolls away. Runner did not get a break from third. Richards did not get a break. She could have scored on that, but did not get a good break, so wisely holds with only one down. And ball 3 on the batter. So 3-0 the count. Runners at first, second, and third. One away in the inning. Bottom 3. Stearns to bunt, pulls it back, and that's going to be a called strike. So we'll see what happens here. 3-1. That's a hitter's count. Now see what if they turn her loose. Rips it to shortstop, one hopper. They're going to get the runner at third, but a run will score. So Sandoval will reach on a fielder's choice. They will get Byerly at third for the second out. But it will score Jenna Richards for the 5th run. Hit down the third base line, going to go foul. But again, that puts Brielle Sandoval at first. And Ardoin is at the plate batting. She struck out in the first for the 3rd out of the inning. Rips one to center field, right at the center fielder, however, so she makes an easy catch. But that was a rip into center field. So that'll end the inning. They do score one. And it'll make it 5-1 now, going to the top of the 4th. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live, and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back here to Spanish Fork as we go to the top now of the 4th inning with Manti coming to bat. Score of interest on the other field over here as Grantsville seems to be leading 6-0 over Summit. South Summit, Grantsville up. Again, these are the two teams that have represented the state championship for the last 5 years, with Grantsville winning 4 in a row and then Manti taking it last year. So these two teams, if they should happen to prevail, would be playing each other. But right now, Carbon is in the lead here, as Carbon is up 5-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Coming to the plate for Manti will be Robbie Johnson. First pitch is a swing and a miss there by Johnson. And Johnson with a .357 average. So it'll be strike one on her. First time up, she was struck out for the 3rd out of the 1st inning. This is her 2nd at bat. Swing and a miss at a high one, strike 2. So 0-2 the count here on Johnson by the pitcher Byerly. And Sorensen, Sandoval, Scoville, Ardoin, Secor, Abeta, and Richards are the fielders for Carbon. And that ball is knocked foul over the fence, out of play. Also doing a nice job behind the plate, Gabby Vasquez. Of course, Haven Byerly pitching. And of the 9 outs that have been recorded thus far, 8 of them have been strikeouts. Tapped that one foul, self-defense there. So 8 out of the 9 outs have been strikeouts here by Byerly. Manti does have 1 hit in the ball game and was able to get 1 run out of it. They do have a couple of walks so far from the perfect game, but a wonderful job here by Byerly. And she'll record another one, strikeout there. right down the middle, seemingly so from up here. But changing of speeds and locations are keeping Manti struggling at the plate. Cecily Alder will come to the plate now. Cecily Alder, the left fielder. On deck, Andolyn Anderson. So Byerly brings it, fouled straight back. And the Manti batter starting to make a little bit more contact. Through those first couple of innings, there was only a couple of foul tips. Other than that, there was no contact whatsoever. Then, of course, we had the big hits last inning, and now a lot more foul tips are coming back. So Manti starting to try and find that pitch. You just have to wonder if they're going to have enough time for it. 1 ball, 1 strike now. But a bit of an indication, maybe if we're trying to find some silver lining, a bit of an indication that they are starting to figure out Byerly a little bit and making some contact. Not on that one, no. Outside corner, a little bit of heat there. Swinging right through it is Alder for strike 2. 1-2 the count now by Alder. Steps back in. Again, she did strike out in the second inning. A high pitch strikeout. Another one goes down. Another strikeout. So again, not to belabor it, but it's becoming a storyline in itself in that 11 outs, 10 of them by strikeout by Byerly. Andolyn Anderson at the plate now with Ashley Johnson on deck. Going to be low pitch, ball 1 to Anderson. Makes the count. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count now. Winner of this will move on to play the winner of the Grantsville South Summit ball game. As we mentioned, Grantsville right now ahead 6-0. That pitch to Anderson is up high. Ball 2, 2-1. The loser of this will drop down into the loser's bracket, and we'll try to get you a time and a place for that one here in just a second as we watch this pitch from Byerly. Going to be low in the dirt, ball. So 3-1 the count here to Andolyn Anderson. And so she's lining up once again. That's a ball walk there. So a 5-pitch walk to Andolyn Anderson, and she'll take first base on that walk and bring Ashley Johnson. The loser of this game, as I read it, will drop down into the other bracket, and they will play at 4:45 p.m. against Juan Diego, looks like to me. So there'll be a bit of a break there as they will drop down into that ball game. Pitch outside, lost by the catcher, and then allowing Andolyn Anderson to go to second on a passed ball there. And first real error of the ball game for Carbon, as that ball dropped by Gabby Vasquez, who's done such a great job behind the plate, but that one was quite a bit wide, and they got past her. So pitch inside, a little bit low inside, called strike there to Ashley Johnson. Mara Thompson is on deck. So we'll see what she does here with a 5-1 lead. Right down the middle, nicely done. Strike 2 the call. So 1-2 the count right now. 1-2 the count to Ashley Johnson, the right fielder for Manti, with Mara Thompson, the center fielder, on deck. See what she brings here. Little high and outside ball. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count to Johnson. Manti trying to get something going here. They're down 5-1. They did score in the last inning. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, thought about it, offered a little bit. Don't think she's going to get the call there. She did not get the call. So full count now to Johnson. Mara Thompson on deck. Manti has had 3 base runners due to walks, or 4 base runners due to walks. Only the 1 hit. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Byerly comes back strong there for the 3rd strikeout of the inning and the 11th of the game. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, Sanpete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care
in your life's first moments,
through your life's biggest emergencies,
in your everyday help,
in those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Welcome back once again here to the Spanish Fork Softball Complex on a beautiful day for state championship softball action. Carbon Dinos will come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning with a 5-1 lead here in this ball game. They'll start with Kylan Sorensen at the plate with Adri Abeta on deck. First pitch is high, ball 1 to Sorensen. And Taylor Secor in the hole here to start this bottom of the 4th inning. Second pitch going to be on the outside corner, called strike 1, so 1-1 the count to Sorensen. In the 2nd inning, Sorensen was thrown out, hit the ball to 3rd base, thrown across the diamond, 5-3 put out. Oh, a nice change up there by the pitcher Daniels, and totally fooled the batter there. Swinging strike. And it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. So she did not reach, but was thrown out from 3rd. That's Osborne to Anderson. Ooh, looked pretty good. Fouled ball, a little high. So 2-2 the count here to Sorensen. Again, Carbon ahead 5-1. When they met earlier in the year, it was a 13-0 score in favor of Carbon. So this is much closer. Ball 3 there, so Sorensen has worked it to a full count now after going down early. She's worked it back to a full count here. Looks like she's going to lose her. The ball was low and worked it back to a base on ball, so a good piece of non-hitting, I guess we could call it there, by Sorensen, as she got in the hole early and then worked back through it to get a walk out of that thing. So it puts a runner at first base, and Abeta is at the plate. Abeta is the center fielder here, and will be followed by Secor, the right fielder here, with nobody out here in the 4th inning. Swinging strike, knocks it foul back against the screen. That'll be strike 1 to Abeta. And Anderson, Olson, Scotthern, and Osborne, the infield here. Whoa, try to throw behind the runner, but gets loose in his right field, but picked up nicely there and returned back in. Good job of backing that up as Ashley Johnson, as they had the runner out on a fake bunt, they had the runner out of place at first base. Second base rotated behind her to try and get the throw. The throw was wide, but nicely backed up by the right fielder Johnson to save the run, or save the base at least. Swinging foul ball there. 1-2, I believe, is the count. Yes, it is 1-2. So 1-2 the count to Abeta. And Secor on deck. Whoa, looked good on the outside corner. Called strike there for a strikeout. First out of the inning. That's the third strikeout of the game thrown by Haley Daniels. It brings Secor to the plate and back to the top with Scoville. Excuse me, this is Scoville. No, this is Secor. I'm sorry. I keep thinking that the last batter is actually the flex player not batting, but this is Secor batting, and it'll bring Scoville back to the plate out on deck. So a swinging strike here to Secor. In the dirt, gets between the legs of the catcher, and the runner is able to move to second base. So Sorensen gets to second base on a passed ball. Just in the dirt, squirted right through the legs of the catcher there. Miller been doing a great job behind the plate, but that one just got squirted right through and allowed Sorensen to get to second base. So 1-1 the count. Way outside, ball 2-1 the count now. Two and one the count. Daniels takes the sign steps, throws, going to be high. Nice job by Miller flagging that one down. But it jumps to a 3-1 count now to Secor with Scoville on deck. Secor in the second inning, hit the ball was thrown out from third base to second base. The batter takes that one, looked to be down the middle. I think she was even fooled that one was called a ball, but it was, and so she takes the base on balls. So first and second loaded here now with one out in the inning, and Scoville back to the plate. Scoville has batted 3 times now. She reached in the first inning, scored later on the home run, and in the second inning, she hit the ball to second and was thrown out at first. Ball way outside. Good job of Miller to slide out there and block that ball, but it is a ball. But nice job. She saved the bases there, as both runners would have advanced had she not knocked that one down. Jenna Richards will be on deck for Carbon. Ripped. Whoa, second runner had to jump over the ball. It gets all the way to the fence. It's bobbled out there. One run across. Here comes the second run, and he'll score standing up. So Sorensen and Secor able to go all the way around and score on that, as that's a double there by Scoville and 2 RBIs on the hit. And the ball went all the way, and really the runner at second, who was Sorensen, was enough off the base that when it came, she had to jump and straddle it to get past it so it didn't hit her. And then it goes all the way to the fence out there. And that will be 2 more runs scored for Carbon Dinos, and it'll run it to 7-1 the score here. I believe there is a 10-run rule here, so it's getting into that danger zone now for Manti, as they've called the timeout, and they're having a little huddle on the mound out there. Like I say, 7-1. If it gets to 11, I believe it'll be after the 5th, I believe it is, would be a 10-run rule. 15 after 3, I believe, so we're a long ways from that. But Manti has to be worried both about that rule, but more importantly about keeping this game close enough that they can get this thing done here in the last couple of innings. They don't want to let any more get across. Only 1 out in the inning. We've got now Jenna Richards at the plate. Pitch by Daniels is outside and low, ball 1. And Jenna Richards sacrificed in the first inning. Guess we can call it that. She just kind of, the ball hit the bat and dropped right in front of the plate. Catcher picked it up and tagged her out. They both thought it was foul until she got tagged out. So I guess that's a sacrifice, because the runner did move from second to third. So we call it a sacrifice. In the other at bat, she took a base on balls. And she's looking, called strike on the outside corner there. I jumped to the conclusion there. But Jenna Richards did take a base on balls in the third inning and then later scored on the hit by Byerly. Pop up to the infield, way up in the air. Second base coming under. She'll take the catch. Well done there, as we have a fly out to 4 there for the second out of the inning. The runner does not advance, so we still have Michaela Scoville at second base. 2 outs in the inning, and Gabby Vasquez coming to the plate. Gabby Vasquez, base on balls in the first, has scored on the home run by Byerly, struck out in the third. Swing and dribble to third base. She comes up nice, nifty. Digs that out on a short hop. Nicely done there by Olivia Osborne, across to Andalyn Anderson, and that will end the inning with no more damage done. But they do get a couple. It's 7-1 now, going to the top of the fifth. We'll be right back.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Welcome back here to Spanish Fork in the game with Grantsville. I just took a quick peek over there. It's now 9-0 in favor of Grantsville over there over South Summit, which would appear that Grantsville will advance and move into that championship, farther into that championship. They are the number 1 seed here in the tournament. Thus, at this point, they are the number 1 seed moving forward. So, looks good for them. Here we have, again, Manti will be coming to the plate, trailing 7-1 now here in the top of the 5th inning. They'll bring to the plate Mara Thompson, the center fielder. And then on deck will be Madison Scottern and Elsie Olsen. So we'll see how this turns out as Thompson will bat left-handed. Steps in there against Byerly, who has thrown an excellent ball game. Swing and a miss there by Mara Thompson. And again, we mentioned the storyline here is Manti with just the 1 hit in the ball game, and of 12 outs, 11 of them have been strikeouts. So Byerly throwing an excellent ball game. That's a ball. They've had other runners who have reached, has Manti, but those run base on balls, so not perfect, but an awfully good ball game thus far by Byerly. Ooh, looked good from here. Called strike. So it's a 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Is the call on Mara Thompson. Mara Thompson is the center fielder wearing number 18. Ooh, check swing, called strike. That'll be another strikeout for Byerly. First of the inning. And the second strikeout for Mara Thompson. Now Madison Scottern comes to the plate. And Scottern will be batting, for the 3rd time in the ball game here in the top of the 5th. And she's been on twice by base on balls. And another called ball there. So she's been on both times she's been up. In the 2nd and 3rd inning, when she got on, she did, and she's got on twice on walks. She's got 2 stolen bases. And the last time up, she scored on the hit later in the inning, which scored her. Ball got on the field from the other diamond. We had to wait and get it out of here. The single was by Olivia Osborne back in the 3rd inning, which scored Scottern. 1 down, leadoff hitter Scottern at the plate. Low, ball 2. She has a good eye, boy. She's not taking anything. She swung a couple of times, but nothing off the plate. She's done an excellent job of that. Good leadoff batter. You get leadoff, you want them to fight any way they can to get on. Going to call low and inside. Ball 3 to Scottern. So looking for her 3rd consecutive walk of the ball game. See what she can do here. 3-0 the count. This one's not going to get away, though. She sat and watched that one, but that's what you do when it's an 0-3 count, a 3-0 count. So 3-1 the count now. Now this is considered the hitter's pitch here. See what she does with this one. Hits it sharply to second base, has to back up and take it. Good speed down the line. I think she beat it out, and she did. A left-hander with that kind of speed, you can't take that much time. The second baseman had to back up to make the field. Elsie Olsen, and I don't think she realized how fast that young lady was coming down the line, but Madison Scotthorn on again for the third time in the ballgame. This time, though, by an infield hit. So she'll be on at first with one down. She's got 2 stolen bases in the game. Elsie Olsen comes to the plate, and she has struck out both times. Swinging strike up high, strike 1. I think they'd like to try and throw out Scotthorn this time if they could. She's awfully quick on the bases. See if she has a chance to go here. Ball's in the dirt, does not go. Ball 1. But just that kind of speed and the knowledge that she's got 2 stolen bases causes infielders they have to make certain rotations, and it leaves holes for you. Squares the bunt, the ball goes straight in the air. The catcher dodges the umpire and makes the catch, and so gets the out. That's a fly out to the catcher for the second out of the inning. And, of course, the runner unable to advance there. So Olivia Osborne comes up. Olivia Osborne, the only hit of the ball game for Manti, as I have on my records here. Hit a sharp one into right center field last time up. Pop hits the ball, goes off over the screen to the other diamond, so it'll be a strike 1. She does have the 1 RBI. In the first inning, she struck out. Third inning, she got the hit, the double. Single, which allowed the run to score. Ooh, nice change of speed by the pitcher there, and Scotthorn does not go. Ball was bobbled by the catcher, but Scotthorn did not go with 2 down. So I believe the count is 1-1 here to the batter, Osborne. Pops it straight back here. We'll have a chance at that. Oh, the fan. Oh, error on the fan. He knows it too. That was his chance. He's going to throw it over the screen, but you're supposed to put that in the little pipe in the fence. I don't know where you score that. I'm asking my helper here where you score that error on the fan. Is there a place to score that? E-fan? Okay, she says no. Okay. Strikeout looking, so that's another strikeout for Byerly as she continues to mow him down by way of the strikeout. So no runs scored there. Two more strikeouts in the inning, 1 hit in the inning. It's still 7-1. We'll go to the bottom of the 5 when we get back.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Welcome back once again as we are ready now for the bottom of the 5th inning here in Spanish Fork, the Spanish Fork Softball Complex, a beautiful area. And they do a great job every year of providing this venue and the resources here. They do a great job with the field, keep it in excellent shape. And so beautiful day, beautiful spot to be. So here we are, bottom of 5th, Carbon up to bat. And the first pitch offering from Haley Daniels is a ball to Haven Byerly. Byerly, of course, with the big home run. She actually has 2 hits in the ball game and 4 RBIs thus far. Pulls the string on that one, does Daniels, but does not get the call, so it's ball 2 to Byerly. Byerly with the home run in the first with 3 RBIs and the double in the third, scores another run, so she has 4 of the RBIs thus far in the ball game, and she gets a ball 3 call there as they're being careful of her, as she's shown she can put it in play if it gets too close to the plate. So 3-0, and she shook her head. Now I think the coach told her to take one here, and she kind of come back shaking her head like, no, I want to swing. She swings away, though, drives it down the right field line. Looks like it's going to be just foul. I don't know if that was a miscommunication, because when she come back to the box before that pitch, she kind of was shaking her head like, please, coach, don't do that to me. So now it's 3-1. Don't know if that happened or not. That's just me surmising. 3-1 to count. Should be a pitch generally figured as a hitter's pitch here. Ooh, pulls the string. Wow, I've got my counts wrong. This official scorekeeper didn't get me straight there. That's a strikeout. I had a ball. One was called a strike. No wonder she swung. I thought it was 3-1. It was actually 2-1. So my apologies, as that's a big strikeout there for the Manti pitcher, Daniel. She pulled a string on that one. It fluttered across the plate and was called strike. So that'll bring Sandoval to the plate. I'll wait to see. Low ball 1. It's to Sandoval. Sandoval has batted twice, struck out in the first, and then reached first on a fielder's choice in the third. That ball is inside, ball 2. So Daniel sets and brings it again. Swinging foul. That'll be a 2-1 count now. First strike call. Yeah, 2-1 the count here to Sandoval. Hit ball is hit to shortstop. Comes it across. Beautifully done by Scottern to Anderson there to make that play. 6-3 for the second out of the inning. And it'll bring Reese Ardoline to the plate. If they happen to get her out, this will be the first in all 5 innings, the first time that Manti will have held Carbon to no base runners in the inning. They've had at least a base runner in every inning. Ball outside, ball 1. And in fact, as I look at my scorecard, they have scored in every inning but this. Ball's in the dirt. Ball 2 to Ardoin. And Kylan Sorensen will be on deck, and Abeta in the hole. High on the outside corner, called strike to Ardoin. And she struck out in the first and flew out to center field in the third. In her 2 at-bats previous to this. Hits the ball to third base. Nice pickup by the third baseman across the diamond. Nicely done. Again, Olivia Osborne to Andalyn Anderson for the putout. And again, like we mentioned, that is the first inning that Carbon has not had a base runner and has not scored a run. But it remains 7-1. We'll be back with the top of the 6th.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Welcome back here to Spanish Fork Complex. We do have a final in the other diamond over here, and that is Grantsville has defeated South Summit, and Grantsville will move ahead to 10 o'clock tomorrow will be their next ball game for the Grantsville. They will play the winner of this ball game here, and then South Summit has dropped down, and they will play Juab tomorrow. First pitch here by Byerly is a called strike to Haley Daniels. Haley Daniels reached on a base on balls in the first inning and then flew out to shortstop in the third inning. But again, that's South Summit will play Juab at 4:45 today. And Manti or Grantsville will get the bye now until tomorrow. So 1-1 the count here to the pitcher, from pitcher Byerly to the pitcher Daniels. Hits sharply into center field. Back goes the center fielder at the wall. Makes the grab. Well hit by Daniels, but not quite enough. A deep out to center field. And only the second batter not to be struck out by Byerly. But that almost got all the money on that one. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here, as they've got to the plate should be Robbie Johnson, but they're talking number 16 here. Carly Thompson will be the batter.
Number 16, Carly Thompson.
So for Robbie Johnson will be Carly Thompson. She'll come in here in the top of the sixth. So first at bat for Carly Thompson, and looking for her as a batting average. I don't even show her on my list of averages. I apologize for that. She stands in now against Byerly. First pitch low, ball one. Top of sixth here. Manti kind of running out of outs. They need to make something big happen. They're down 7-1 here. Swing and a miss by Thompson. Strike one. Robbie Johnson had batted twice and had struck out both times. Now this is Carly Thompson, I believe just a freshman, coming in this ball game here with a chance to make something happen. Ball low in the dirt. Again, we mentioned the great job that even Byerly has done as a pitcher here so far. And only 2 outs of all the outs that have been made, the 15 outs, 16 outs now. Only 2 of them were not strikeouts. So strike 2 now to Thompson. So I believe, if I'd go back and count for sure, but I believe there's 13 strikeouts for the pitcher, Byerly. Pop up, going to be over the screen, out of play. Another E fan. This fan wasn't quite as much into it though. And again, he throws it over the screen. Somebody needs to show him where the little hole in the wall is there. Just exercising his arm and showing his ability. So Thompson will stop back in again. Carly Thompson here, the batter. Called strike 3, another big K by the pitcher Byerly. Second out of the inning. Manti down to 4 outs now is all they've got left here to make something big happen. Cecily Alder comes to the plate. She also is victim of 2 strikeouts. Well, let's be honest, most of the team at this point victim of 2 strikeouts. That's how good Byerly has been. Excellent. In the dirt low, ball 1. There have been base runners for Manti, but they've been by way of walk. Only 2 hits in the ball game by the Manti Templars. I think they've had 5 base runners total. Okay, they asked for an appeal at first base, but I don't think they gave it, so that's a ball. So 2-0 the count, I believe. Fire to the plate. Oh, outside corner. Looked good from here, and it is called a strike. 2-1 the count here to Alder. Andlin Anderson is on deck. Pitch ripped down the third baseline, off the glove of the third baseman, and not able to get there in time. But that was, I believe you have to call that an infield hit. That was so hard off that third baseman, came right up off of it. We'll give her an infield hit there for a single. And it puts Alder on, Cecily Alder on first base now. Still some life here for Manti. They'll bring to the plate now Andlin Anderson, Ashley Johnson on deck. Andlin Anderson has reached on a base on balls and has struck out in the ball game. Oh, a floater there. She took so much speed off that ball, it looked like it was going to be high and then dropped in. Almost looked like a slow pitch softball pitch. Beautifully done, though. It's a strike, completely fooling the batter. Comes hard inside this time. Misses inside. Ball 1-1. I think that's been the thing about Byerly, really, is that her ability to change speeds out there on her pitches has just really kept Manti out of sync a little bit, off balance, because she changes speed so well with a couple of different pitches. Right down the middle, strike, fastball there, strike 2. So strike 2 on the batter, 2 away in the inning, a runner at first. Alder is at first base, and Anderson at the plate. Ooh, a little high ball. I believe that's a full count. Look for the call from the umpire. Come on, Blue. Nope, 2-2. Thank you. That's what I needed. So Andlin Anderson, 2-2 the count. Deuce is wild. 2-2 right here. Ball's inside. Oh, called the strike on the inside corner. The batter backed away, but the strike was a called strike. So another strikeout, third out of the inning, and that's the way the top of the 6th will end right there. Still 7-1 in favor of Carbon. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Well, welcome back once again here. We're at the bottom of the 6th inning here with Carbon coming to the bat and a lead of 6-1. At the plate will be Kylan Sorensen for Carbon. She'll take ball 1 on the first pitch, offering from Haley Daniels. And Abeta will be on deck and Secor in the hole. Another pitch high, ball 2 to the batter. Sorensen thus far in the ball game was thrown out from 3rd to 1st in the 2nd inning, and she got on base on a walk in the 4th, and then eventually scored one of the runs for Carbon. I believe that's ball 3 has been called. So 3-0 the count to Sorensen here, leading off the bottom of the 6th. Sets and watches ball 4 go by, so that'll be a base on balls again. She's been on twice now, virtue of the base on balls. That'll bring Abeta, Audrey Abeta, to the batter's box. She reached on a single and eventually came around and scored in the second. Turns the bunt, puts the bunt down, picked up by the catcher. Not sure what to do with it. He is ruled a fair ball. There was no indication by the umpire, and he doesn't have to make an indication when the ball is considered fair. And quickly then the play was made at first base. So Abeyta sacrifices the runner across to second base. And the out is recorded on Abeyta on the sacrifice. First pitch now to Secor is called a strike. As Carbon again with a runner in scoring position. Secor was thrown out at second base. Ball's hit sharply down third. Got the runner hung up. Was coming, so chasing her down, tagging her out. Ooh, the runner kind of made a running error there. She broke third base, and the ball was being fielded by the third baseman. And third baseman Osborne was wise, checked to see if she was coming, and then chased her down. So that's a 5 unassisted there to get the second out of the inning. It does allow Secor to reach first base on a fielder's choice, however, but it brings Michaela Scoville to the plate. Pitch is high, ball 1. Scoville has a single and a double in the ball game, and then was thrown out from second base to first. So she's been up 3 times, been on twice with a single and a double. So 2 balls now is the call to Scoville. Jenna Richards is on deck. Ripped foul down the left field line. Strike 1, excuse me. 2 outs in the inning again. Manti's really got to get out of this inning with no more runs scored. They're down 6 with 3 outs to go here. Pitch is high. Big lead at first base, no throw. 3-1 the count. So Scoville steps back in, left-handed batter. Rips again down the third base line. Is going to go foul. Probably lit in the other field over there. So this count will go full now. Count goes full. Right back up the middle off the glove. I believe he got a piece of it off the glove of the pitcher. Runner comes all the way from first around to third. The ball is dropped. That allows Scoville to go all the way to second base. That's on a fielder's choice to second, but it was a single. And moved Taylor Secor all the way to third. And I believe that was just a little bit off the glove of the pitcher. It looked like it deviated in course as it went by her, but it was a blast up the middle. And I believe we scored that a single and then a fielder's choice because the play was made at third, which allowed Scoville to advance then to second base. So a single and then a fielder's choice puts her at second, and she drives Secor to third. And that brings up Jenna Richards with 2 runners in scoring position. Ball is off the catcher's shin guard, goes all the way to the screen, but again, no good break by the runner, and so she held up there. Ball is the call. Gabby Vasquez is on deck with Haven Byerly in the hole, and they certainly don't want to have to go there. Richards hits the ball again down third, foul ball, but she's been up 3 times thus far. She got the sacrifice swinging kind of bunt in the first inning. She got a base on balls and eventually scored in the third inning. Then she flew out to the second baseman in the 4th inning. This is her 4th at bat. Ball is low, gets away from the catcher, runs back, no time, just no way to score there. So it's 2-1 the count now. First base is open, but you're getting into the part of the order you don't really want to keep lingering around. You really want to get this batter, if at all possible, and shut this thing down, keep your team close. Ball's going to be outside. Ball 3, 3-1. 3-1 the count. Here to Richards with Vasquez on deck. Sits and watches outside corner. Nice pitch there by Daniels. Nicely done. Put a little bit of movement on that. They brought it back over the edge of the plate there. So it's a full count. Runners at second and third. Full count. 2 down. Bottom 6. Rips down third. Whoop, just foul. That was close. That would have brought 2 in. Ball back in. Everybody gets to where they're to their base. Shortstop really, Scottern really over tight on third, expecting her to pull. If she hits the ball up the middle, there's nobody there. Swing and strike. Good job by Daniel. Struck her out to stop this little bit of a rally here. So a strikeout for the third inning out of the inning. And that'll be the way the bottom of the 6th ends. So we go to the top of the 7. Manti's got to have 6 to keep playing, 7 to get ahead. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th.
Sanpete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. Sanpete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. Sanpete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com. Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Welcome back. Here we are in the top of the 7th inning here. Unless they've changed the rule on me, I believe softball only goes 7. So Manti's got a steep hill to climb up. They're down by 6. 7-1 is the score here in the 7th. They will bring to the plate number 8, 9, and then back to 1 here. So you have Ashley Johnson, the batter here. Recorded 2 strikeouts thus in the game by Byerly. That pitch is going to be high, ball 1. Then you have Mara Thompson, who has struck out twice also, and then back to Madison Scottern, who's been on all 3 times she's been at the plate. Doing very well offensively. Pitch is high, ball 2. Byerly, a little bit of struggle finding the plate at this point. She's had these moments where she throws a bunch of balls, but she's able to get herself into composure and bring it back, and has done a wonderful job as far as strikeouts are concerned. Pop up, catcher foul territory. The catcher will take it. So down to 2 outs now is Manti. So that'll bring up Mara Thompson, number 18, to the plate. On deck, Madison Scottern, which will be an interesting at-bat, having reached all 3 times she's been up. Pitch is a little high. To Thompson. 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. So 1-1 the count now. Steps up. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So Byerly will throw it again. She has 1 out already in the inning. Oh, tried to overthrow that one maybe a little bit. Flipped outside and low on her, so ball 2. 2-2 the count to Thompson. She may have tried to overthrow that one just a little bit. She'll step back in at 2-2. Rips to sound to second base. Picked up nicely there. Turns to make the throw, but not in time. She got there in time. Again, the second baseman, that's Scoville, had to range deep in the hole behind first to make that play. Good job of getting to it, but a left-handed batter just too fast down the base path. So Manti maintaining some life here, as we'll give her a hit on that, as she just flat beat that out to first base. And now it brings up the matchup that's been favorable for Manti all game, as Madison Scotthern has been on base all three of the times that she's been up. Called strike there. Again, Madison Scotthern with 2 walks has scored the only run on the hit by Olivia Osborne, and then got a single, infield single last time, much the same. Second base, and just beat it out. Was so fast she beat it out. Ball 1 there. So Scotthern has not been a favorable matchup for Byerly, as she has been victorious in the at-bats all 3 times. 1-1 the count here. Low, ball 2. She has a great eye. She sits and watches a lot of pitches, as she has a good eye of when to swing and when not. And she hasn't had to swing much, but the time she did, she got an infield single. So 2-1 the count. Again, Manti down 7-1. This is the top of the 7. They've got 2 outs left to make 6 runs. Pops it up over the fence, foul. And she'll have life. So 2-2 the count for the first time in any of the at-bats here. Byerly is actually ahead in the count, and this is the first time with Scotthern that she's been ahead in the count. So she got 3-1 walk, 3-1 walk, and a 3-1 single. Pop up to the infield this time. Third baseman takes the glasses off, makes the catch. She had to get rid of that face mask. So for the first time in the game, they finally get Scotthern out. That's a fly out to the third baseman, F5, if you're scoring at home, for the second out of the inning. So Manti down to 1 out here. It's Elsie Olsen is at the plate. She struck out twice and flew out to the catcher the third time, so it's down to 1 out here. Swing and strike. Strike 1. It's a pretty uphill battle here for Manti. I'm not saying it can't be done, especially with Manti's pedigree and tradition in softball. It's not like it can't happen, but they're down a little bit here. Fouled back against the screen. Strike 2. So Manti down to their last strike. See if they can make it happen here. So here we go. Byerly at the mound. Whoa. Floats one over the outside corner, and in self-defense, Olsen reaches out and slaps at it. That thing was just hanging there, just floating. Byerly's laughing. I don't know. He may have got away from her. But Olsen really had to reach out and swat that ball. That was just self-defense there. Good piece of hitting, though. Stay alive. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the ball game. Byerly with a tremendous ball game pitching. And that is it. Manti will go down to defeat Carbon with the win, 7-1 here at the Spanish Fork Complex. So Carbon will move on to play Grantsville tomorrow at 10 a.m. And Manti will drop down to play Juan Diego at 4:45 this afternoon. So that's the way it kind of settles up here. And again, hats off to Byerly. Of the 21 outs, I believe 17 or 18 are strikeouts. Wonderful game by Byerly. That'll be it for this ball game. Again, we appreciate our sponsors, especially TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom and KSL Sports, for making this possible. We'll be back with more broadcasts. We'll be back in just a minute.